r/AskReddit, what's the best answer to when are you having kids? I asked a friend this and his reply was always practicing. When I stop swallowing them, woman shrugging, light skin tone. When are you having kids? When are you having your next bowel movement? That's rather personal. You started it? Just start crying. And then pretend like you're trying to talk through the tears, but you just crack up. Keep it going for an uncomfortably long time. Why? Are you finally sick of talking about yours? The bloodline ends with me. That's a rude question, Carolyn. My actual response. She sputtered and said it's just what women gab about. And I told her not anymore. Funny thing is, I was 5 weeks pregnant when she asked, grinning face with sweat after struggling to get, and stay, pregnant, though, I was tired of this bullshit from her and her generation. When I can afford them, so after I paid off all my student loans and bought a house. That always cut off all of the bullshit. Some other time, tonight is taco night. I had a hysterectomy by choice, so I always just try to make them feel as uncomfortable as possible and say something like I can't have children. As sullenly as possible. I like to be honest and just say never. It's remarkable how many then try to change your mind. But if I'm feeling mischievous, I tell them that I am not allowed around children by a court order, winky face. Why? You wanna watch? Told my ex-mill the 1000th time she asked me, I'll let you know when I start raw dogging your daughter. Best I can do is not kill myself. When you lose some weight, Barbara. When I stop having to raise the adults around me. Probably not today, I'm full. If and when I feel ready is what my sister says. I just say I'm not. If they press the issue, I tell them that I can't without a big risk of complications, but I don't really see how my uterus is any of your business. When my colon becomes a uterus. When the world becomes a fair place to all. Well. When are you ready to be the full-time live-in nanny? When the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. February 32nd. Warning, I went nuclear. Had this question asked to me a lot a few years ago. So I made myself a fake fidelity card from the CPS equivalent here. And my answer to the question was usually something like, taking the card out. Well, pretty often, look, if I give up 2 more kids to adoption, they'll give me a free pizza. I already do. They just have 4 paws and a tail. When I see one that I like, I'm not having kids. I've seen what they've done to you. Whenever you and dad are ready to raise them. Easy, I say that I am always practicing. When men are the ones to get pregnant instead of women. I prefer practicing. When you stop slightly smiling face. You correct them if asterisk, not when. Because the expectation that you should have children with the current state of the world and society itself is absurd and flat out disrespectful. My most recent favorite response is that would be incredibly cruel and unfair to a child. These days having a child is like inviting someone to a house party that's already over and the fucking house is burning down. When I find one I want to keep. Admittedly, I have a difficult time socializing, but my go-to is to scream manically, then run away. Man shrugging. My sister, to our godawful, and now very much dead aunt, in 1998, Dunno, Agnes. When are you going to get your face lifted again? That's none of your business. Never, yes I'm selfish but I don't care about your opinion here. If you're going to ask me something that's none of your business, you're getting an aggressive response. After saying, "Oh, what time is it?" and looking at your non-existent wristwatch, say, "Oh, that's right. Never," and walk away. In the immortal words of Rodney Dangerfield, the best thing about kids is making them. I just tell them that I don't like kids. I got my balls removed, wanna make kids inside me instead? Depending on who's asking, either why would I do that? Or you wanna try? Winky face. Never. Kids. I can't stand those screaming buggers. Never. When I find someone to have them with. Takes two after all. We're not. Never. Now stop bugging me about it. When should I have them? What a strange thing to say to me. When I have enough money to raise them, well, of course. How much are you chipping in for it again? When they rot and lie stinking in the earth. When my rope and balaclava get delivered. When I can afford them. Which is never. Not a small talk question. How do you do that? I usually just walk away while disappointedly shaking my head and muttering it's not his fault, he's just an idiot. Under my breath. None of your fucking business usually works. Even better if the questioner is your nosy Aunt Gertrude. When I want to. They don't allow livestock at my apartment complex. I have a cat. When I find my person. When you pay for them is one of my favorites. Maintain baffled expression while looking into their eyes for at least 3 seconds. Then ask slowly, that's rather intrusive to be asking, isn't it? Very slowly looking away. When a toddler can pay my bills. Is what I usually say. That can be an incredibly cruel question. I wonder that you can ask so casually. Why do you ask? When I can. Hopefully, medical science will get better. Who said I don't have one? Or 3. Face with tears of joy. When God decides to bring Jesus back. None of your business. Stop being so fucking nosy. When she is ready. A direct and vicious insult regarding their appearance or intelligence. No, I really don't know, and obviously depends on both people. Take my first answer for example and apply it to a curious 5-year-old, that's not alright. Depends when the daycare opens. As soon as I figure out how. Got any suggestions? I've heard they're delicious, but I'm a vegetarian, so I'll never be having children. 17 years ago till recently it was usually I am still a child myself. And who knew us better? It was, you know, with our issues it would be irresponsible to have a child now. The later we worked on though, and welcomed our first child 2 months ago, smiling face with smiling eyes. For dinner. Why does the question bother you? I'd probably say something along the lines of, unless you're gonna give me money for diapers, it's none of your business. How respectfully I say it would depend on how much I care about them. When somebody gives me working testicles. Edit. Lost one in an accident years ago and the other a couple weeks ago, but the story for that is for another day. The recipe says to leave them in for 4 hours at 250 degrees, so probably around 3 o'clock. Why would you ask me such a personal question? We raw dog it every night if that's what you're asking. When I'm done enjoying all this anal sex. When I can make kids without a wife and they want to live in a foster home. When I feel like it. When they stop making these kids so damn sexy. Trust me, they'll never ask again. Never or whenever I can afford them. Whichever comes first. When I finally stop not picking up obvious hints. Not on the radar. If they push, just repeat. They'll soon get the message. Whenever I grow up. Can I go back in time to say 1989, my oldest was born in 1990, I was 22 in 1989, and get my vasectomy then? Evil smile, beaming face with smiling eyes. If you don't want kids, just say I can't have any. We'll make them feel incredibly awkward for intruding on such a personal matter. Try to look sad and uncomfortable for needing to tell them. Works wonders, they never ask again. When the angels win the pennant. Never is my answer, no bullshit from me. If I'm asked why not, I'll just pull up my fucking huge list of reasons I keep on my phone. As soon as I impregnate her. My midwife told me to say, my doctor said not yet. She had to tell me this because people started to ask me about having babies very soon after I lost a baby. Right now. Bend over. When I stop being infertile. When you are emotionally and financially capable. On Black Friday when they are on discounted. Never. Whenever I feel like it. When you're ready to pay for them. About 9 months after my next date with your mom. Get neutered and get some proof, show them at that time. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.